What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and today we're going to be comparing the Mossberg MC2SC, which is the subcompact or their micro compact. They call it the subcompact, but this is indeed a stack and a half micro compact. Now, I absolutely love this firearm for many reasons, other than the price, specifically the texturing, the grip, the ergonomics, the trigger. Just it's a great overall package, very small package, and in a lot of ways I wish Glock would have done this with the Glock 43X. But anyways, before we get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, subscribe, let me know what kind of videos you want to see. And I also have a lot of people saying, oh, do shooting videos, or why do you have no shooting videos? I have hundreds of videos of me shooting on private property, out in the snow. This winter I did a couple trips out to this 40-acre plot of land and shot for you guys. On top of that, I have hundreds of range videos, so it's up there. I just honestly don't really like the attention it gets me at the range having a camera stand set up. It just is what it is, and I'm working on getting my own private range, my own land, and my own range set up. Therefore, I can make videos and not have to deal with the attention and all that stuff and people staring at you and taking away from your shooting experience. And that's just how I feel. It is what it is. But plenty of more shooting videos to come. It is what it is. But like I said, I wish the Glock 43X was this right here. Now, it's interesting. The original MC2SC ran Glock 43 mags, and it came stock with ETS mags, right? So obviously there was reliability issues, but it was a great overall firearm. Now this is just a little thicker, and you get basically double the capacity. This right here is an 11 round mag, so 11 plus 1, 12 rounds in this tiny setup, which you're going to see how small the setup truly is. It's no pocket pistol, it is like a micro 9, but you'll get to see. Right here is a Glock 43. 8 plus 1 with mag guts, so I had to go buy that kit and everything, and check that out. 11 plus 1 on the right, 8 plus 1, 11 plus 1 on the left, 8 plus 1 on the right. I mean, they're basically identical firearms. I mean, I kid you not. Just this is a little longer with that mag guts, and you get 12 rounds in this setup right here. Taurus GX4, this is also 11 rounds flush. It's going to be a little thicker, the Taurus, but same exact length. A little shorter because it does have a shorter barrel. The barrel length in the Mossberg, I believe, is 3.3 inches. Here's the Stoeger STR9 subcompact, a firearm I really have been enjoying lately. Much thicker, obviously. 10 plus 1 for the Stoeger. So look at that. It's even beating that in capacity, and it's much slimmer and so on. Here's my favorite everyday carry Glock 26. Look at that. 12 plus 1 on the right, 11 plus 1 on the left. 26 is beating it, but obviously I had to buy an aftermarket base plate for it, so it is what it is. Here's my Hellcat setup, 15 plus 1 on the right, 11 plus 1 on the left, which the Mossberg does come with a 14 round mag, which is going to be the exact same length. 6-hour P365X, 12 plus 1 on the right, oop, piece of my grip I guess, 12 plus 1 on the right, 11 plus 1 on the left, about the same length. Here's the Glock 43X. Now obviously I had to go use Shield Arms mags or the Dagger mags for 15 rounds. But look at that, 11 plus 1 on the left, 10 plus 1 on the right with OEM mags. The most reliable form of magazine you can get are OEM, so I like to compare it to the OEM stock mags because you can get aftermarket mags for any company. And I've taken polls on the Shield Arms mags, and honestly, every single time I do it, it comes out at about 50%. 50% of the people have good luck with it. The other 50% can't stand them, can't get through a magazine, have all sorts of issues. Me, I've been lucky. Here's another one of my Glock 26s, 12 plus 1 as well. Obviously much thicker, but same length basically. Now here's a Smith & Wesson CSX 12 plus 1. Man, the CSX is small, and it beats it in capacity. Overall slide to slide, which is pretty crazy actually. Barrel to barrel, beaver tail to overall length. Two great firearms. Absolutely love the CSX. Here's my Smith & Wesson M&P 40C. Now what I really like about this firearm is not only does it run 40, but it runs it with such little recoil. It is a thick boy. And it is a heavier firearm, but it handles recoil really well. And you can also put 200 grain hard cast loads in here, and you can defend yourself against about anything in America. It just is what it is. You don't want to use 40 with a bear, but you could with, like I said, the right ammo and so on. But that's going to be 10 plus 1 of 40 on the right, and 11 plus 1 of 9 on the left. I'll show you, let's do the Canik Meta MC9 next. because honestly, I like the Mossberg better than the Canik. That's just my opinion, and especially it comes down to reliability. But other than reliability, I like the ergonomics of the Mossberg. I like the overall feel of it. But look at that, 12 plus 1 on the right, 11 plus 1 on the left. So you can see where Canik got that extra round to win that matchup. Here's the FN Reflex. I mean, these are going to be about identical. And the 11 round mag for the Reflex sits about the same length. And then the 14 round mag for this sits around where that 15 is. So the FN does beat it a little bit. And here is the CZ P10M, which, look at that. That's crazy. 7 plus 1 on the left, 11 plus 1 on the right. About the same size firearm. Crazy. Both great shooters. Here's the Shield Plus, 13 plus 1 on the left, 11 plus 1 on the right. Which you can see where they got those extra rounds from. But overall footprint is very similar. Look at that. I mean, the Mossberg is amongst one of my favorite handguns out there. Like I said, I used to have one. This is actually a newer one. So here's the 14 round mag right here. Let's put it up against like the Reflex. See, about the same length. Like I said, all these Micro 9s are pretty similar. 15 plus 1 on the left, 14 plus 1 on the right. So it's going to be close. It's a little wider than the Hellcat, you know, and so on. But the overall ergonomics, let's do the 43X, because I think these two are basically the exact same size. Very similar in barrel length, 3.3 or 3.4 for the Mossberg, and I believe 3.4 for the 43X. I mean, these are basically identical. Although, think about it. This is a Metgar mag, so they, you know, outsourced to Metgar to make them some amazing magazines to really help with reliability, which they learned from the original ETS mags they were using. But the overall feel of this firearm is unbelievable. So I'm fine losing the extra round, you know, in comparisons like against the Canik with the 15 round mag. I'm fine losing different setup. I mean, 14 plus 1 is plenty. Like I said, it's definitely, sorry guys, definitely worth it for the ergonomics, that flat trigger. It is optics ready, but like I always tell people, firearms like the Mossberg, firearms like the CZ P10M, firearms that are not as popular, it is going to be very hard to find a good, actual good quality holster for it, especially with a light. If you throw a light on this, your holster options are now so limited, it's not even funny, and you're going to end up paying a good amount of money to have a custom holster builder make you that custom holster setup. But if more people bought the Mossberg, I'm sure there would be more aftermarket support. You know, it is what it is at this point. But if you like the Glock 43X, you'll love the Mossberg MC2SC. Absolutely one of my favorite Micro 9s. Just got to put some more rounds to this one. My first one, unreliable as can be, light primer strike after light primer strike after light primer strike. But this one, so far so good. And I'm really interested to see how it performs. But so far so good. Like I said, the only squib load I ever have was in a Mossberg. And it's actually very interesting because I wasn't paying attention to loading my mags, and I had a Remington UMC bullet backwards in the casing. And this was my first squib load, and I had to hit it out with a rod. And it was just a good experience because I ended up learning a lot. And I definitely learned to always check your ammunition while you're loading. I don't care what it is. The ammunition ever since the pandemic has been absolutely ridiculous. It's been terrible quality. It's just been horrible. And that even makes me nervous for defensive ammos and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the Mossberg MC2SC size comparison. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching.